Welcome. Okay. So this is on YouTube Live and also Instagram Live. So we're going to get started here. So welcome everyone to our weekly Remember to Breathe, where we're just tuning in and focusing on remembering to breathe in this time that we're living in. And then we're also reading a chapter from the Tao of movement building every week. And I guess this is our seventh session because we're on chapter 7 now. So welcome. And we're going to jump right in. Chapter 7 of the Tao of movement building. I invite you to close your eyes if you'd like to, or just drop into that centered place within you to receive this listening space. Chapter 7, The Tao of Movement Building, Listening to the Heart of Systems Change. Detachment to outcome is a paradox. You put your energy, your care, your love, your heartfelt effort into all that you do. Of course, you want it to turn out for the good, but it's not up to you. That is the Tao, the truth, the natural law of this world. Is it cruel? Sometimes it feels that way. Is it benevolent and full of grace? Sometimes it feels that way. It is what it is. Continue on. Take another breath. Keep going. I'll read it one more time. Chapter 7. Detachment to outcome is a paradox. You put your energy, your care, your love, your heartfelt effort into all that you do. Of course, you want it to turn out for the good, but it's not up to you. That is the Tao, the truth, the natural law of this world. Is it cruel? Sometimes it feels that way. Is it benevolent and full of grace? Sometimes it feels that way. It is what it is. Continue on. Take another breath. Keep going. So I invite you to take another breath and bring into your heart and your mind and your whole being the things that you truly care about, that you put your effort into, your creations, your creating, the inspirations in your heart and your mind. And I invite you to be aware of the categories in your life, your family, your work, your health. Maybe there's hobbies, community, friends, your engagement with the larger sense of supporting the world to move in a healthier, more wise, intelligent direction. All these different aspects of your life that you're connected to, and all of the care that you have to tend to the things in your life, the relationships, the projects, wanting things to be done in a good way. And then I invite you to see the energy that's behind, that's inside of, that is energizing all of those aspects of your life, everything that you put your attention on and that you put your care into and that you tend to. But focusing on that inner energy of care and seeing that all of that you tend to comes from a similar source, or you could even say the same source within you, the source of care. And we can go deeper and deeper into our center. Last week I read a passage from Parker Palmer from a book called Let Your Life Speak. And I've been reading that book, and he asked the question, who am I? But then he goes deeper into that question and reflects on whose am I? Whose am I? Showing that we are always in relationship. Who do I belong to? And he goes on to explore the fact that we aren't an individual in the sense of how we usually think of ourselves. We're actually interconnected. We don't make up who we are is actually all of the relationships that we have, everything that we care about. And then at the source of that, whose am I? Truly, we are life. And that is the life force that is in us is what cares about what we're doing, who we're being, how we're showing up. So I invite you at this time to release the thinking mind that needs everything to go a certain way, that's worried about how it's going to turn out, and focus on that miraculous energy of the life force itself within you, and allow that to flow through your mind, through your whole being, and watch how that is what is doing the doing. And when we can relax more and more into that way of being, that's what the Tao calls doing non-doing. When we're allowing the life force inside of us to do the doing, then we're not doing anything. So we can just take a moment to experience viscerally in our bodies, in our whole being, the mysterious paradox of what I'm pointing to, what I'm inviting us to experience. Life within us, caring for life all around us. And then we can take another moment to drop into this interconnected root system of relationships, people who are rooted in their care for life. And that's how we can feel connected with one another and strengthen our connection with one another and strengthen this network of people here in the Northeast bioregion and then throughout the whole world, linking our arms and our beings, imagining ourselves as an interconnected root system, just like the old growth forests that withstand the test of time, the weather patterns, all of the climate and global changes that are unfolding. When we have this interconnected root system, we're more resilient. And we also are offering and providing something to everyone else who maybe isn't aware in the same way of this work. And we're offering our hearts and our hands to link together with us. And through that resonance, we're establishing a greater field of resilience and stability and sanity and intelligence, wisdom, and coming back to the care that we have for life. So we can relax into the mystery of our interconnectedness, the magic of synchronicity, and that feeling of being connected with one another, and how that creates a ground of being, a rootedness, when a rootedness in a framework, a worldview, a way of being in relationship with our lives that brings centeredness, stability, clear seeing, sensing, thinking. So we can come to a close here with a feeling of gratitude to be connected. This is a choice that we have to affirm our interconnectedness and how that interconnectedness is beneficial to ourselves, to each other, and to the larger reality, the larger human family. I watched the trailer last night for The Hidden Life of Trees, and it was talking about how forests offer such a tremendous value, ecological value to our whole planet, to each other, and to our human family, the health of our environment that forests contribute to us. We can say thank you to the forest, the actual, real, dynamic, diverse, real forests that are still intact on this planet. And then we can also invoke and connect with the social forests, so to speak, of connection that we're developing through being together and affirming with all of the scientific research and data that does exist about this subtle level of activism that brings peace and harmony into our selves, our families, our organizations and communities, and ripples out to establish harmony and resonance and resilience in our world. So I invite you to bring all of that back into your own being and focusing on today and the next few days this week, setting your intention and your resonance with the way that you want your day, your week to unfold. And then we'll read this chapter 7 one more time and close for today. Detachment to outcome is a paradox. You put your energy, your care, your love, your heartfelt effort into all that you do. Of course, you want it to turn out for the good, but it's not up to you. That is the Tao, the truth, the natural law of this world. Is it cruel? Sometimes it feels that way. Is it benevolent and full of grace? Sometimes it feels that way. It is what it is. Continue on. Take another breath. Keep going. Thank you so much for tuning in, and see you next week.